Hi, this is Isabel. So this video is about thought leadership. So I'm not sure if all of you know what it is. So I will share with you a little bit what I mean by thought leadership and how you can become a thought leader, which I really believe is the easiest way to get a job or to get some attention to get a job, since most of you are in a situation where you want to grow your career. So thought leadership is all about people who have ideas or they have concepts, and they're basically the ones that are trend setting. They're the ones that are bringing the attention to a topic and becoming really the person on the topic. So I made a different video I will link below about how to become the go-to person. So you may want to watch this video first, the go-to person video, and then watch this one so that you understand a little bit more how to become this person, the expert in your industry. And then step number 2 of the video would be to become a thought leader. So the way it works is that you would build up your profile, become the go-to person. So I explained this, how you basically build some content, and then you have a network around you, so you're recognized as being this expert in something. So you're becoming an expert in step number 1 basically, and in step number 2 you become a thought leader. That means you're getting beyond your little circle of influence and your knowledge, and you become this person that's actually a reference, and you start maybe writing a book about the topic. So you see a lot of people who start on YouTube, for example. Maybe that helps you visualize a little bit more what I mean in terms of the step by step. So for example, you see a YouTuber and they're very good with, let's say, how to become a six-figure entrepreneur. So they will start making videos, they start having followers, and maybe they have some courses or what have you. And then after a while, they have written so many articles, they've done so many videos, they really become an expert, plus, I would say. And now they will go to the thought leadership step, meaning that people start calling them to make interviews, and maybe they start thinking about writing a book on the topic, and that will really put them in the thought leader. And that's what you want, really, to secure yourself the best jobs, or even if you want to start your own business, but to become really an expert, if you want to be excellent and so forth, you need to get to that thought leadership part. And it's not easy, because you need first, again, I would watch the other video, you need first to build your content little by little, and then once you have achieved this and you have already some interest, that's when you will start getting people around you. Again, people will want to partner with you, people will want to share interviews with you, they will want to introduce you to other people. So you start really taking some width, basically you become a little bit the bigger version of yourself. But you can't do that alone. You need to start alone, and that's really what I tell people. So you build your content by yourself, and that's going to be the hard work, where you have to do it on your own. YouTubers who are putting videos every day or every other day, writers who are doing a blog article every month. So it's consistency. And then once you reach that, you will see that people will start coming to you, and then you become this thought leader. And why am I making this video about thought leadership for people who are looking to get a job in Switzerland? Is because the best way to get the best jobs is actually for people to come and find you rather than you finding them. So you will be much more successful if you have a lot of content that, let's say, is very interesting for the Swiss market. You have a better chance to get someone from Switzerland to contact you, rather than trying to push your resume onto Switzerland, saying, I want this job, and sending application after application. And then the Swiss don't know what to do with it. They're not interested. Maybe you don't have a work permit, etc. So it's much easier to do an alternative type of strategy, to say, I'm going to build up my name around a topic. Make sure it's a topic that's interesting for Switzerland. If you target some specificities in Switzerland, so let's say you want to become a healthcare person in Switzerland, or you want to work for the watch sector, for example, make sure you're building your content around that, your viewership around that, if it's videos. And then I'm pretty sure that you will attract watchmakers in Switzerland that will come to you to ask, I like your designs, or I like what you talked about, and wow, you met this person, etc. And people will come to you. So you don't have to do the work of sending your applications to the watchmakers in Switzerland, where you're just one person like everybody else. So you're basically using the thought leadership. You become already an expert in your domain. You learn about your domain. You try to have as much information as possible in your domain. And then people will be coming to you, Switzerland and other countries, so you don't have to work so hard anymore. So it's a different strategy. Basically, with the thought leadership, you will have to work very hard at the beginning to build up your profile, to get those videos or those blog articles out. It's going to take a lot of energy, but it's really an investment for the long term because they stay online and they're going to be there forever. Whereas if you're just sending applications, hoping that someone sees how great you are, there's no proof of concept. So if I have a choice between, I'm a recruiter, I have an open position, I have a choice between someone who has a viewership or has written blog articles, is an authority in their domain, and I have the proof of concept, or someone who doesn't have anything except, their work history, who am I going to choose? So that's how you need to look at it, is that nowadays the best way to differentiate yourself is to build content around your topic, to show that you do know your stuff. And 9 times out of 10, when I've interviewed before people to do maybe tasks for me or delegate or something like that, I've always been, I would say not every time, but I've been very disappointed because people will say on their profile that they know how to do a campaign, that they know how to do different things. And then when you talk to them and you ask questions, you realize they have no clue what they're doing. So that's the place where you want to avoid. You don't want to put yourself in a position where you don't know your stuff. You want to put yourself in a position when you know you've worked on your topic and you know exactly what you're talking about. You're credible, basically. And then people will not only read or watch your stuff, but they will also want to hire you. So again, I'm proposing a completely different way of looking at it, but again, it's more work at the beginning to develop this. And the great thing is that if you are an expat, you can start developing this from your home country. So you don't have to be in Switzerland. Become an expert in the domains that are fascinating for Switzerland. And because they need the resources, they need the staff, then they will come to get you. So again, there's always room for excellence. There's always room for someone who's a thought leader, but there's not always room for average. So that's the way to look at it, is become the expert, become the thought leader that you want to be in your domain, and then people will come and find you, basically. And you may not even need to send one application. I've seen this before. I've seen this with a candidate. She was very well networked, an expert in her topic, and I remember she contacted me and she was interested in a job in Switzerland. I didn't even have time to even talk about how we could work together, that she already had a job offer. So it makes the whole difference. So if you have the two, which is really the emphasis on this channel, meaning the expertise, the know-how, you've built your credibility, plus you have the network, you've got the winning compound there. You've got it, basically. You're set for life. So do those two things and you never have to look for a job again. So I hope this was helpful. Feel free to comment below, subscribe, share with your friends and family, especially if they're also job hunting, and I will talk to you soon.